Don't tell me it can't be done. It can be done. You can't be lazy. Step up. Go ahead.
Okay, I have a question, but it's not relating to the actual selection.
No, ask anything you like. There's no subject.
Okay. So yesterday we were talking about riba.
Yes.
And student loans.
Yes.
Me personally, I have student loans.
Gotcha.
And I didn't know about Allah for people who involve with riba.
Yes.
So how would I deal with that situation?
That's a great question. And a lot of youth, keep the mic, sorry. A lot of youth are dealing with this because a lot of youth unfortunately get duped into taking out student loans. But first off, by the way, are horrible financial decisions. You know, if you look at the interest rates on student loans, they're higher than regular loans. And even if you declare bankruptcy, you can't get rid of student loans. It's kind of strange, right? And most students, unfortunately, misuse student loans. You know, I know a lot of friends that got student loans and just bought big TVs and went on vacation with them, right? And a lot of people, even that end up becoming doctors and engineers, the interest on the student loans are so high, by the time that they graduate and start paying them back, they're in debt for 20 years, right? But now, what if you're in a situation that you're already stuck with it? So the first thing you can do is negotiate with them and say, look, I'm unable to pay this back fully, but I would like to pay back the principal. And many times they will, especially if they're afraid that you will not pay it back, they will bring it down to the principal only. Meaning you would be paying back the loan as you borrowed it without interest. Now that may not always be the case, but that's the first and best case scenario. So speak to them, tell them, look, you don't want me defaulting. I don't care about my credit, just tell them like that, right? So instead of me not paying, let me at least pay you back my principal and you write off my loan. Some will agree to that, and I've seen it happen, and that would be the best. Some will not, right? And then you'll have to figure out what is the best way to pay as minimum of the interest as possible. Unfortunately, you're already stuck, right? If you're unable to pay off base principal and you are stuck with the interest, then looking at your own personal situation, there's two ways to go about it, right? One is you tell them, look, even if you don't agree, I'm only paying back my principal because that's what I borrowed from you. I didn't borrow interest from you, right? And then they will ruin your credit, right? And not everybody can handle that, right? Like me, I don't care about credit because I own my house, I own my car, I don't have any loans, I don't apply for anything, so I don't care about my credit. But a lot of brothers, because they want to rent and you're unable to rent without credit, are not able to take that risk. And if that is true, then we sit with some scholars, discuss your particular situation, and you may end up having to pay it back just because you're stuck as a darura, right? But those are the steps to take. First, try to see if you can pay off base principal, no interest, and that's best financially and obviously halal-wise.
Just following up with that question, how do we encourage the youth to pursue higher education if they're unable to afford it?
Great question.
Can I add to the first question answer a little phrase there?
Please.
That whenever you are negotiating, make sure the bank or whatever the loan agency is agree with the writing in writing.
Yes.
Because if it is not done in writing, they can still come back and haunt you.
That's a very good point from the doctor, which is that if when you do negotiate with the bank or the agency, everything that you agree should be in writing. Because those loan agencies, many times they'll agree with you on something and then still come back and betray it, and I've seen it happen as well, right? Next question, which is related, was how can we encourage our youth to pursue higher education if they can't afford it? Well, they can afford it. I have 2 master's degrees and I never took a penny of loans. And I didn't, like my parents didn't pay for my education, right? Why? Because I budgeted, right? When you were young, why do you need to move out? Stay with your parents. You got no rent, right? Now you may have to put up with some nagging, but you got no rent, right? And stay within your means. You know, young brothers, like I'll tell you, I'll be honest, right? When I left the gang world, I used to have some crazy nice Impalas back in the days. I left it. When I went back to school, I had a Geo Metro. You know what a Geo Metro is? It's like a bucket with wheels. You don't even know what it is. That's how bad it is. They don't even make them anymore, right? It was so bad, like my windows didn't go down, right? It looked like a little little car from Monopoly, and it was horrible, right? But that's what I could afford, and I bought it cash. I used it to go to work, go to school, go to madrasa, go to da'wah, come home. All my friends were, trying to buy new cars and flex, and I didn't care. And I took semesters off to work. I took summers off to work. I worked night shifts. I worked weekends. I did what I had to. I paid my own tuition, and I have 2 master's degrees. So don't tell me it can't be done. It can be done. You can't be lazy. Step up. Look, as Muslims, we tawakkul ala Allah. We put our faith in Allah. But we take a step. And when you take a step and you put your faith in Allah, wallahi, Allah will make a way for you. Right? So everybody here should pursue higher education. Whether it's Islamic, whether it's secular, all of that is good. Right? And you should do it to be the best at what you are. If you're a doctor, I want you to be the best doctor, as Dr. Sabil was mentioning, right? You need to be the best, because then they will say Muslims are great doctors. If you're an engineer, I want you to be the best engineer. If you are a security guard, I want you to be the best and most honest and reliable security guard to show the great character of Muslims. So we encourage everybody to step up and to stay away from riba and the tricks of shaitan and the traps of the capitalistic market which wants to enslave you. Right?